operation plan that utilizes the powers of magic.
With the proliferation of science and technology,
How to start a business. Hi everyone, today we're going to discuss how to start a business, how to make that money. We'll just be discussing easy pointers that can get you started, because what I find is that a lot of times we have excellent ideas, amazing ideas, out of this world ideas, but we fail to execute. And so at the end of this video, I really hope you will join me with taking up a pen and a book and write down your ideas and actualize them in 2021. Before you get started, you'll have a general idea of what it is that you want to do, what problem you want to solve, what industry you want to get involved in, what product or service you would like to offer, what it is that maybe it can make money. You want to start a business but you want to focus on the greater good, then of course there's always possibility of you conceptualizing a social enterprise, and there are many opportunities, many grants that support social ventures. The second thing you want to do is you must write it down. So there are many times when we wake up with this amazing dream that, boy, this business idea is going to be successful, and sometimes it's really God talking to us and we don't write it down. And then by 2 weeks, 2 years, this time has passed, if somebody launched their new business and this business is now a multi-billion-dollar business, and you sit down feeling, whoa, I actually had that idea 2 years ago, but I didn't do anything. I forgot it. But I recognize that it's the same thing that came to me. And so if you had gotten started, it could have been your company. But we don't want that to happen, so you need to write it down. Or this point is very important in terms of writing it down, because it flows directly into the other point, which is to turn what you've written down into a business plan. The executive summary, the value proposition, the revenue streams, the customer segments. I'm not going to get too complicated as to the different sections or compartments of a business plan. What I want you to do with what you've written down is just simply set some goals and objectives, right? Because that's really the most important part of your business plan. What is it that you want to achieve and by what date? Right? So you want to launch this business, this wonderful idea that you've written down. By when would you like to launch this business? So let's say you start writing down your idea in February 2021. So we can plan for a launch in April 2021. So if we're planning for that launch, we need to have at least products or at least an idea in terms of the pricing for the services that we're going to offer. So we'll have an idea of the basic research that would need to be completed before the launch date, right? And this is why writing down your idea is important and turning it into a plan, giving it some structure, so that you're giving yourself some deadlines, you're giving yourself some deliverables to accomplish before the launch date, so that you can start working towards this. You want to also set objectives as regards to how much money would you like to make in XYZ year. If you have an objective of making $2 million in 2021, then you would know the units of your products you need to sell to meet that goal. Then once you've determined how many units, you have to now determine How is it that you're going to sell all of these units? Like, what are your distribution channels? Are you going to be partnering with convenience stores, other grocery stores, pharmacies to get these products on the shelves and sold? Are you going to be selling from an Instagram shop, or are you going to be setting up a website and promoting on the various channels to bring people in and sell these products? Or are you going to get sales agents and go on the road, hit the road running, and sell from store to store, people to people? You have to make those decisions. And I'm just going to throw an extra point in there. If you realize that you can't do it alone, don't be afraid to find like-minded people, somebody who is interested in this industry. It might be a classmate who has been studying the same discipline as you, or it might be a friend, or you might want to put out a call on social media to find like-minded people and be honest about it, that hey, we're a startup, we're looking for a business partner or an intern. Interns can add such value to your company because they're bright, they are young, they have innovative ideas, and they can tell you how to run your business more efficiently, right? So never underestimate what people can bring to the table, and you need people to get your idea off the ground. So we already have the idea, we write down what idea, and we turn what we write down into a plan. Cool? I hope it's not too complicated thus far, and if it is, note that my email address is below. I do offer business consultancy services. I'll be happy to help you and work through your business plan with you. Next thing is for us to identify the value that we're adding, right? So if it is that you are starting a business, you must not set up for mediocrity. You have to position yourself to excel. You have to position yourself to offer something that is new, that is going to pull people towards your company. Because remember, especially if it is that you're operating in an industry that's saturated, people have choices. Why should we choose you? Is it that you're offering convenience? Is it that your services are faster? Is it that your services are more reliable? Like, what is it that you're bringing to the table that will draw your customers from the other competitors? What's your pull factor? You have to solidify your pull factor. You can have multiple pull factors, but you just want to have an idea of at least one to get started. Just to recap, we have our idea, we write down our idea, and we turn our idea into a plan. We identify the value that we want to offer. And so the next thing now is to identify at least 3 revenue streams. No business can run without money. Even if you're a social enterprise, you need income to carry out the different operations of the business, right? So if you have a business and you have a website, even to have a social media page, you need some amount of funds to go into marketing. You need some amount of funds for the maintenance and sustenance of that website, right? And you need to pay your employees if you have employees. It's not ever advisable for a business to rely on one revenue stream. You must try to have at least 3. I literally recommend that you think about at least 3. So for example, to actually teach business planning and business development, and I tell my students a simpler business as hairdressing, you can have 3 revenue streams. So the hairdresser can do hair, that's a service. She can sell hair products, so that's another revenue stream, 1, 2. And then another revenue stream is that if she owns the salon, she can rent out a booth to a barber, right? So you have to always think about how is it that you can maximize what it is that you're doing and ensure that you multiply up your revenue. We're recapping again. So we have the idea, we write down the idea, we turn what we want to write into a plan, and we have identified the value that we want to offer. We've identified at least 3 revenue streams. So now all we need to do, you can actually do this from the very beginning, to think of a name. So you want to think of a name that people can relate to. So once they hear your name, your business name, they know what kind of service you offer or what industry you operate in. But don't be afraid to think about exotic names. I actually love exotic names. It goes good with branding. You want to think about your name, and my advice is that you try to reserve this name. You go to the company's office of Jamaica website. I'll try to put the website in the description below for you to access, and you can go there. For the Jamaicans watching, you can go there and try to do a business name search and ensure that no other company has that name, and reserve that name for 30 days. And then that brings us to the very last point: register your company. Legally, you do not be operating a business without registering. So ensure that you register your company. And then, of course, it's self-explanatory. It's the 21st century. Everybody's on social media. So your business needs to be on social media. It needs to be represented on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. And I mean, some people just settle for Facebook and Instagram. Business needs to be on social media because that's one of the main ways that you can connect with your audience. All right, and don't forget the traditional means of advertising as well. A lot of us rely only on social media. I just want to throw this in there that advertising in the printed media is still a thing, guys. Paying for TV ads, radio ads, it's still a thing. And you want to do whatever it takes to get the word out there about your business. That is my 2 cents as to how to start a business. There's a link in the description to a presentation I actually put together as to how to start a business in Jamaica. Please feel free to read this. It breaks down the steps a little further, all the things that you need to know about starting a business in Jamaica. Again, the link is in the description below. It's free, so it's a free handout. Please read it and share it. Thank you. Please subscribe as well.